Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 5 topics for this video. The first one, Prime Minister Robert Fico of Slovakia claims that there will be a serious conflict between NATO, Slovakia, and Ukraine. He warns Zelensky there's going to be serious conflict with Kiev. That is the first topic. Second topic. Did you know that the European Union is in a standoff with Russia? Who pushed them over there? Oh, yeah. Crazy Putin. The third topic. Let's see what happens between those, I was about to say it, the Houthis, the Yemenis, and the Israelis. They exchanged some missiles, not like friendly missiles. The Houthis, the Yemenis, claim that they struck Tel Aviv. Netanyahu claims he struck the Yemenis. We want to find out who's who and what's what. Zelensky calls Putin a dumbass because instead of answering a question, the easiest way is to deflect it. I will talk about techniques of answering questions. But Zelensky, instead of saying regarding Putin's duel, remember, Putin did not extend the duel to Zelensky, but to the Americans. Remember, you put your air defense systems wherever you want. Tell us where you want us to hit in Kiev. We're going to send an Oreshnik hypersonic ICBM and see if you can defend it. And Zelensky answers. He just inserts his garbage into the whole equation. He just, okay? After all, he's on Zelensky, what do you expect? So he inserts himself in the equation and he calls Putin dumbass instead of answering the question or saying something meaningful. And the last one, the last topic, I will show you the Syrian reformed rebel. Used to be an ISIS, and how he's interviewed by BBC, by the Telegraphs, by these guys. They are very interested in knowing what this guy says. Why? That's his boy. He is their boy. Remember, but don't talk to Lavrov. How they call them? Isolate the Russians. But with this Syrian rebel, former ISIS, but he's reformed. He changed. I will tell you a little story, a personal story, maybe if I don't forget by the end, when I spoke with a guy and he said that she changed. And I was like, okay, man, you're a baboon. All right, let's start with the first one. First topic. Russia Today. European Union state warns of serious conflict with Kiev. Prime Minister Robert Fico has warned of retaliation after Ukraine refused to continue transiting gas to Slovakia. Now you understand that refusing to do this, that is a national security threat right there. That means military action. European Union member and NATO member state versus a non-European Union country, non-NATO country. So who do you think the Americans should side with? Obviously not with Robert Fico. Why? Because he's European. He's going to deal, they're going to side with Zelensky. What do you think? And I'm quoting, a serious conflict is possible if Ukrainian leader, because Zelensky is a Ukrainian, doesn't release our gas, Fico said on Friday. He made a comment a day after a behind-closed-door meeting between the two in Brussels. Slovakia is considering retaliation against Ukraine over its refusal to continue transit of Russian gas through to the European Union nation. Fico said, we're not going to buy American gas at 3 times the price or 4 times more expensive. Fuck off. Oh my God, don't do that. Kiev is determined not to renew a multi-year transit contract with Russia, which allowed the fuel to flow across its territory despite the armed conflict between the two nations. Slovakia is one of the recipients of the gas. There you have it. So, that's what's going to happen. What fool would give us gas for free? Fico said the proposal regarding the gas situation which Zelensky outlined to him at the European Council meeting seemed absurd. One idea was to allow the flow to continue on condition that Russia would not receive any payment until the end of the Ukraine conflict. And this is what Fico, this is Mihal, another Zelensky stein, in charge of Ukraine, Prime Minister, by the way. What fool would give us gas for free? my friends. And he says, I cannot completely rule out reciprocal measures. My friends, what do you think will happen? Whatever the Americans want will happen. And it will put pressure on Fico, and maybe, Fico is going to see another end of the barrel. I hope not. He's a bold guy. All right? Let's see how this imbecile from Austria says that European Union is in standoff with Russia. Who brought you here, you baboon? Look at his eyes. He's like a deer caught in the flashlight right there. Look. Ich bin ein idiotische blah blah blah. Okay. Foreign Minister Alexander Schallenberg, I already checked him with Schallenberg, has accused Moscow of staging cyber attacks and attempting to sow discord via social media. Yeah, why don't you ban it? Please ban it, because you have the power to ban the people's liberties. All right? So we're in a standoff. Austria is a standoff with Russia. That's the way these guys operate. They stay at the shade or shadow of the United States of America, and they're all tough guys. When the United States of America goes to take a piss, everybody's like, go quickly to see where the Americans, and then come back with the American, hey, yeah, remember that? Yeah, remember that? That's how these baboons are. Austria. The Soviets did a lot for Austria after the Second World War, but hey, that's been forgotten. Next one. Houthi missile lands direct hit in Tel Aviv, Jewish state, amid Tit-for-Tat attacks. So this is what they say. Let's see. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Stein called Thursday morning Israel airstrikes across Yemen a message that, I'm quoting, that whomever harms Israel will pay a very heavy price. How can you do that? You're strong. Why? Houthi fighters announced the same day that they targeted the military sites in Tel Aviv with a pair of Palestine II missiles. And I'm quoting, the Houthi launched hypersonic missiles, I don't believe they have hypersonic missiles, just so you know, toward the internationally recognized Israeli capital of Tel Aviv on Thursday. Simultaneously, the Israeli aggression on civilian facilities in the Yemen capital Sana'a and Hodeidah province, including power stations, the militia said in a statement on Thursday. The missile strikes were well within Yemen's natural and legitimate, end quote, right to respond to Israel's aggression, the fighters added. The operation, and I'm quoting, successfully achieved its objectives. The operations of the Yemen armed forces will not stop until the aggression on Gaza stops on this and the siege is lifted, the statement said. Okay, well, right here, these guys did what they did. And Yemen is in a state of conflict with the Israeli regime. Israeli media Thursday reported that a multi-story school building had been hit by a partially intercepted Houthi ballistic missile, causing 40 million shekels. How many were used for Jesus? I know, 11 million US dollars. Pop. 11 million US dollars for what? For a school? 11 million. I understand. They work with interest, you know who. Let's move to the next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky blasts dumbass Putin idea of duel over Kiev between Oreshnik and Western air defense. Zelensky on Putin's proposal of a duel between Oreshnik missiles and Ukraine's air defenses, no, the American air defenses he meant. We are dealing with mentally unstable people. They would have used, this imbecile right here, they would have used nuclear weapons so far, I was about to say something, see you next Tuesday. But hey, could not. Why? Because they're unstable. If they were unstable, mentally unstable, they would have fucked you up already, and many others in the process. Zelensky calls Putin a dumbass for challenging a missile duel, according to CNN. Okay, let me tell you this. I've been trained in interviewing people, okay, many times in many ways. Well, I think I'm okay with doing that. So you go and how do you interview people? Not interrogate people, interview people. You know, without smacking or all that, or other things that you can do, drill holes in their kneecaps, or pull their teeth out. Those are the old school. They're not used anymore. So how do you do that? You ask questions, and you have, by asking questions, to be a few steps ahead of your subject. Okay? You ask questions regarding, and you watch the body language, the micro facial language. That's more important than the... Okay, all right, so little things. So you do that and you ask questions, but it's very simple. When you ask someone a question, let's say you ask these are general stuff, general. They're not 100% certainties, right? But by building your case with questions, with observation, you may connect dots, and from 90% certainty, or 80% certainty, 98% certainty, you connect all these things and say, well, it's a high rate of certainty here that this guy is or not. And you write your report and so on, if he's still alive. So what do? Let's say you ask a innocent person, and you ask, hey, have you committed this crime? Let's call it rape. Have you committed rape? Or you accuse someone. Oh, you committed rape. His answer would be, no, me? No, what? No. Right. That would be a natural, in general, answer of a guy who really is, no, what? And then after a little while, a few seconds, he say, how can you say this? He goes into the moral state, like, how can you suspect me of this? Who do you think I am? What are you talking about? And then as his anger for being, accused of something that he definitely did not do, he's gonna go with his attack on you. How do you dare to challenge me? You don't go the first one, like when I say, hey, you are a rapist, say, define me the term rape. When? Really? That's not the, you know what I mean? So the same, when Zelensky, instead of saying, you know what, why would this mentally unstable guy Putin say such a thing of a duel between his Oreshnik and our air defense missiles, is because Putin said, you guys are lying. Understand that we can fuck you up if we want, but we don't. Therefore, we're not mentally unstable, as you claim. So this guy attacks these guys' mental abilities, personal abilities, all right? And he doesn't answer the question, like, yeah, do it, motherfucker, we're gonna show you. He starts saying, well, there's people here who die, and, everything but say, yes, send it, we're gonna fuck you up. That would be the first answer, like, hey, I didn't do it. And then you go into philosophical things and maybe make a joke here and there. But no, he goes straight, he's a dumbass. They're mentally unstable people. Well, is it true? Is it true that if they would launch a missile, an Oreshnik hypersonic missiles, you shit your pants because you can't hit it? That's the whole point. Why? He wants you to understand that. Therefore, come in front of us, sit down across from me, and let's discuss the war. Stop the carnage and let's discuss. He's not. He just calls him mentally unstable people. You understand? I'm pretty sure you understand. It's not, rocket science here. And let's go to the last reformed ISIS guy. Here, this guy. Syria rebel leaders dismisses controversy over photo with women. Right? So this is BBC News. Again, the Telegraph via Yahoo. Syrian rebel leader says women's education will continue but refuses to pop. BBC, Syria leader said they jihadists in the past. Syria not a threat to world. Rebel leader Ahmed. So all these things, like right here. He's a reformed guy. You got it? Okay. Can they be trusted? And they interview this guy. And I'm always going to give you the same example with the rape. Why? You can't go left or right. I mean, if you say, well, I stand for this, political system, or for this, okay, it's an ideological preference or economical preference. But here, we all are against that. So I don't want to beat around the bushes, those bushes. I don't want to do that, and I don't want misinterpretations or misunderstandings. That's why we all agree that we disagree with that act. Clearly. So when you have someone who committed that act many times, let's say, I'm not saying this guy did, I'm not saying that, but he is a jihadist sent to Syria to commit certain things. You understand? He's not over there to wave the flag and keep speeches and all that. He was not sent by Al-Qaeda or ISIS into Syria to do that. So he went over there, he did a lot of stuff, I guarantee you that. I don't know, I can't accuse, but if you ask, a CIA guy who was deployed somewhere else and say, oh, what did you do? Did you do this? No, it's your fucking job description. What are you talking about? The method, oh, you didn't waterboard that guy 50 times, you did it 25 times. But you did. All right, the same here with this guy. So when this guy says, I'm a reformed jihadist, this is how it's portrayed by BBC. It's like someone comes and tells you, I'm a cured rapist. I'm a reformed rapist. Well, okay, all right. Good for you. Now sit down here, tell us about it, and we're going to indict you, we'll charge you, we'll convict you, and you're going to go and pay for that first. And then after that, we're going to interview you as being the reformed rapist. Until then, you're right there. You're a bad person. So this guy tells us, and the problem is that the Western operatives, the media, portray him as he's reformed, man. And they interview him, but they wouldn't interview Lavrov, they wouldn't talk to Putin. Isolate them. Or Lukashenko of Belarus. So, am I supposed to support these guys? No, I'm not. I remember when I went to Romania, there was a guy over there, old acquaintance, let's put it this way, and I talked to him, I said, who are you with? Are you with the Democrats or are you with the Republicans, huh? And I said, I'm with the truth. He was like, this guy's an imbecile, probably, whatever. So the same here. I'm not with this guy I'm with the truth, I want with the justice. Now, that's not perfect, as I am not perfect. Got that? So the same here. But to tell me, see how these guys promote this reformed. It's laughable. Laughable, but it's sad because this guy, let me show you something else. Look at this picture I just noticed. Look how he is. He is clear, nice and all that. He is portrayed as such. Do you remember how they portrayed Donald Trump? Why is that? For the same reason. They want you to have sympathetic feelings towards this guy. I don't. I want him first to go and answer for his potential things that he did as a jihadist. And now he's not. He's reformed. Believe him. Trust him. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.